Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be doing a brief walkthrough of the Cambridge New syllabus, the 0472 and the 0772. I have received many questions about this syllabus actually, and hopefully in this video I'll be able to answer them all. Well, this new syllabus, the English as an additional language, is so similar to French as a foreign language and also Arabic as a foreign language, with only slight differences in the reading paper. I'm going to actually explain that in this video. In some countries like Egypt, as you can see, the approval of adding this qualification was received earlier in February. And if you are interested in this subject but you're not Egyptian, you're going to have to contact the coordinator at your school to find out whether it's accepted or not. Okay, so let's jump right into things. I'll start with briefly talking about the advantages and disadvantages of choosing this qualification in comparison to English as a second language, the 0510 or the 0511, and Oxford AQA English as a second language. So what are the advantages? First of all, of course, the additional language is way easier than the Cambridge second language and Oxford second language as well. Way easier. It's an easy A star. Time management is not an issue at all. The topics for reading, writing, and speaking are provided for you just like Oxford. Reading and writing are tested separately, which can be less stressful for students, of course, just like Oxford. What are the disadvantages? First of all, we don't have any past papers to use for practice. We only have the specimen papers and they're not enough. So we're going to have to create practice papers. I have actually created some practice papers for my students. Most countries haven't confirmed that it is accepted. So again, you have to contact the coordinator at your school to find out whether it's accepted or not. Now, usually the second language exams, whether Cambridge or Oxford, they help you improve your language, okay? Develop the language proficiency. And therefore, you will be more prepared to sit the IELTS or the TOEFL. If you choose English as an additional language, it's not going to be that helpful, okay? You're not going to improve your English that much because it's really easy. This is one of the disadvantages. You're going to have to think of another way to prepare for these proficiency exams, okay? Okay, so this is a quick overview of the additional language syllabus. Candidates will have to take 4 mandatory components or papers. As you can see in here, we have paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and paper 4, and all of these components have equal weightings, okay, 25%, which is different from the Cambridge second language, and also Oxford. Usually we have more marks on reading and writing. Now, paper 1 is the listening paper, and it's out of 40 marks. Of course, they take 25% of the mark. And here we have different types of questions. We have multiple choice questions, matching questions. I'm going to show you, I'll give you more details in a minute. We have paper 2. This is the reading paper, and it's out of 45 minutes. They also take 25% from the 45 marks. It's a 1-hour paper, and we have different types of questions. We have multiple choice, matching questions, and also short answer questions. In paper 3, and this is the speaking paper, we have 2 different, let's say, types of questions. We have a role playing here and also a conversation, 2 conversations on 2 different topics. It's out of 40, and they also take 25% of the mark. Finally, it's here we have paper 4, the writing paper. It's out of 45, just like the reading. In here we have the a form filling task. Remember the form filling that we used to have in paper 2, in the Cambridge English as second language paper. It's so similar to it. And then we have 1 directed writing task and 1 task in the format of email writing, or we have article or a blog. So it's either an email or a letter, article, or blog. Okay, I'm going to explain that in details in a minute. I'll start with paper one, the listening paper. At the beginning, this is a paper that is out of 40. It's a 50-minute paper, including 6 minutes transfer time. In Cambridge Second Language, we write the answers on the question paper. Also in Oxford, we do the same. Here, they provide you with a bubble sheet or a multiple choice answer sheet where you're going to have to transfer your answers at the end of the exam. So they'll provide you with a multiple choice answer sheet, as I told you, a bubble sheet. You're going to need an eraser and a soft pencil, and the end of the exam, you transfer your answers. This is, again, easy. It's not, you can practice. If you've been doing that in other exams, this can be really easy and something that you are used to doing. Okay, so in the listening paper, we have 37 questions. As I told you, we have 6 minutes to transfer the answers at the end of the exam. Now, in questions 1 to 34, just like Arabic as a foreign language, AFL, I don't know if you are familiar with that, but it's the same. You're going to have to choose only one answer, one letter, and in the rest of the questions, you're going to have to choose 2 letters. Okay, you need to practice. Okay, doing this is easy, but you need to practice. So the other instructions in here, of course, you're going to have to use a pencil, and you're going to have to write your name, the serial number, the candidate number, the same as the other exams. So in the listening paper, first of all, look at the questions. They are really easy. We have photos, like, again, like the a foreign language exam, Arabic, whether it's Arabic or the foreign language exams in general, Arabic, French, German, they give you a number of photos, and there will be a talk or a dialogue, and they will be talking about one thing, and based on the question, you're going to choose the letter. One letter for the first group of questions. Piece of cake, so easy. What else do we have in listening? We have also like some kind of multiple matching questions. So you're going to match the statements to the names in here, whether they are names of people, restaurants, objects. And in the rest of the questions, here we have multiple choice. First, we have multiple choice questions, still one answer. And towards the end, you're going to also get questions in here that will ask you to choose, saying you choose true statements. You're going to have to choose 2 for the rest of the questions, not only 1. And usually students get these questions wrong. And half of the mark will be missed because they choose only one answer. Now, paper two is the reading paper. This is also relatively easy. I'm not going to say relative, it's really easy. It's a 1-hour paper, and it's out of 45, as I told you. The instructions here are so similar to the instructions of the Cambridge Second Language exam. The first question is, this is so similar to Oxford. You would have short texts and multiple choice questions at the beginning. But these questions are way easier than the Oxford questions for the first. The first part of the reading exam, the Oxford reading exam. So we have a short text, and the questions are so straightforward, and you can find the answer in here. And then you choose the answer, and you tick it, as they say, that you tick the right answer. The rest of the questions are again similar in terms of format, so similar to the Oxford AQA second language exam. We have an email in here, and also they would ask you straightforward questions. You can find the answer in the text. No inferential questions. Again, you're not going to have to draw inferences at all. They are straightforward. Okay. Here we have also multiple choice questions. All of them are multiple choice questions. Of course, the first part. Then for this question or this text, you're going to have to write short answers like the Cambridge Second Language exam, where you're going to write, you're going to have to write the answer in here, short answers, the same rules apply. So out of 12, this task is very straightforward, nothing challenging than this. And when we practice together, you'll be asked to do it. This is so. Here we have a form of multiple matching. Exercise 2 in the second language exam, we're talking about Cambridge in here. When you match people to or statements to people or boxes, it's the same thing. We have people. We're gonna do matching. Finally, another one, short answer question. This is, let's say, a little bit challenging, more challenging than the rest of the questions. Okay, this is paper 2, the reading. With the speaking, again, with the speaking, it can be a little bit confusing, but if you've chosen Arabic as a foreign language before, or maybe French, this is so similar to these exams. Paper 3, as I told you, is out of 40, and it's only a 10-minute exam. It takes only 10 minutes. We have a role play at the beginning and then 2 conversations. So the role play will take 2 minutes, and we have the first conversation will take 4 minutes and the second one 4 minutes. Even if you don't speak at all, they'll keep on talking. They again, I will explain the exam details in our first lesson. They give you some preparation time, like Oxford. In Cambridge, they allow you to prepare, but they only give you 3 minutes after the warm-up. Here, it's like Oxford. They give you 10 minutes at the beginning, but not before. Now, because of COVID, they canceled the photo card. But in here, it's similar. They would give you 10 minutes at the beginning, where you're going to prepare for the topics in here, or to the prepare for the conversation. You're not allowed to make notes, though, not like Oxford. The Oxford, they give you a pencil and a planning sheet. Here they don't allow you to write anything down, but they allow you to prepare. They give you more time. They give you 10 minutes. So as I told you, the preparation time is 10 minutes. You're not allowed to write or take notes in here. After that, you're going to have to greet the examiner. After you greet the examiner, you will be asked to take a part in a role play. They will ask you to assume a certain role, usually yourself, but in a specific situation. And the examiner will be playing a role as well, maybe a waiter, a waitress, maybe customer, friend. So this will be explained to you in a minute. Then you will take part in a conversation, a 4-minute conversation for the first one. You're going to respond to questions on a sub topic. After that, you're also engaged in another conversation on another topic. So yeah, it might sound complicated, but with practice, this will be so easy, so don't worry. This is an example of a candidate card. We have a number of cards that we were provided with from Cambridge, of course. Let's look at the role play part. So they explain to you the situation. You are planning a trip to the zoo with a friend, and you're going to be yourself again in this situation, and the teacher will assume this role. The teacher will be your friend, and always the teacher starts the role play, so don't worry about it. Tell them, where are the questions? The questions, they don't give you the questions in the candidate card. As a teacher, I will have the questions, but the questions are simple and straightforward. They start. I will show you an example as well of what types of questions that get asked in the role play. You just answer the questions, and again, you're going to assume this role, and you're going to respond to the questions. After that, they give you the topic. This is the card that you get for, when you start planning for or during the planning time or period. So this is again conversation 1, conversation 2, and Again, the topics in here, I'll also give you examples of topics that they usually get or you discuss with the. Here are some examples of scenarios for role plays. Planning a trip to the cinema with a friend. You're going to be yourself, and the teacher will be your friend. You are on a train, and then you are talking to another passenger, etc. So they are daily situations, um, things that you can come across during the day situation. I'm talking about situation here, and as I told you, you just be yourself and you answer the questions. So as I told you, here is an example of a candidate card. This is the teacher's or the examiner script. This is the greeting, as I told you. And after the greeting, you start with, the teacher would start the role play. So this is really, they are addressing the examiner in here. They say, you are on a train on the way to Manchester. You are talking to another passenger. I am the other passenger. So this is the question. Excuse me, what does the train, or when does the train arrive in Manchester? And then you answer. Okay, so the answer is so simple and straightforward. So and so on. Then you finish the role play. After that, you get the topic. In here, the topic is close, and they would ask you questions like the second language, the Cambridge second language exam. Okay, what do you normally wear at school? Describe your favorite item of clothing, etc. So this is so similar to the second language, but less questions. Okay. So the test does not need to last exactly 10 minutes. For example, if the role play lasts less than 2 minutes, you do not need to add extra questions. So again, teacher doesn't have to add any extra questions if the candidate doesn't respond. If the role play lasts more than 2 minutes, do not reduce the time allocated to the topic conversation. So again, here they are strict about the time, and the teacher doesn't have to add any extra question. Uh, so this is again the breakdown of the mark, and the marks are available on what exactly we have in the role play. We have 2 marks available for each response, and since there are 5, then the maximum mark is 10. For the conversation, of course, both conversations, we have 15 marks available for communication, and we have 15 marks available for the quality of the language. So the total is 40. So in here we have the mark scheme of the exam. I'm going to explain all of these descriptors to you when we start the let's finish our video with the last paper 4, which is the writing paper. Okay, so here are the instructions for the writing paper. We have 3 different writing tasks. As you know, in Cambridge English as Second Language, we have 2 exercises. In Oxford, we have 4 different tasks. In here, we have only 3. Uh, we have question 1, uh, the form filling, the directed writing, and finally you're going to have to choose from the email or the article, maybe blog, letter. I'll show you in a minute what that means. Here is an example of the form filling. You're going to assume a role. You're going to be Alex Green in here, and you're going to be in a situation like the speaking exam. You're going on a school trip for a week to another country, and you will stay with your family, or with a family, not your family, with a family there. So you're going to complete the form. Being Alex in here, you're going to be Alex, and you're going to complete the form. Here is the writing part. And there are, again, strict rules that you need to be aware of. I'm going to explain all of these rules when we start the course. The directed writing task in here, where you live, describe your house. So you're going to answer these questions, okay? And this is out of 12. The first task is out of 5. You're going to choose from A and B, 3A and 3B. It's either you write an email to a friend, a friendly email, um, or you write an article for your school magazine about your job. Um, you're going to choose from these two, and the task is out of 28. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening and being here. If you have any questions, please send me an email, or you can write in the comments. Uh, Again, good luck, and see you in our next video. Bye bye.